Hello. Hello. Can you all hear me? Hello. Ye idiot. What do you call that? What do you call yourself that? Hi, how are you? Okay, you'll be back, right? You'll be back. Hi, Albert. What's all the Japanese? Japanese is bad. Hi, Mikkel. How are you? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you doing? Okay, good. You guys can hear me. Albert, what's the Japanese, Albert? I can't understand because I have no time to cut and paste what you're typing down and to translate and trying to figure out what you're saying. Was this blessed the car? Sorry, it's not up to me whether I can check out this court because it depends on whether it's available for me to do a review. Molly Appleton? Thank you. Mikkel, you got your second shot a week ago? Okay, good for you. Good for you. Albert, my Japanese is bad. Okay, it's totally BS because I don't read Japanese. Okay, so yeah, you're good. What do you get, Mikkel? Do you get the Pfizer or the Moderna? Hi, Gunnar. How are you? Mark. Bonjour. Bonjour. Bonsoir. Merci beaucoup. Yeah, Albert. Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. That was just a couple of words. I can't do anything. When I went to Japan, they all thought I'm Japanese because somehow they think I look Japanese. So whenever I go down to the streets to do shopping, and they were always they were always going to converse with me in Japanese until I opened up my mouth and say I don't understand Japanese. They go, oh, okay. But they always do that. Even in the airplane, when I'm taking Nippon Air or Japanese Airlines, the air hostess will come to me and ask me what I want to eat, or give me instructions or whatever she wants to say to me is always Japanese. It never gets old. Hi, Gointa, how are you? Oh, Guna. All right, in Chinese now. So we have someone typing in Japanese. Now you're typing in Chinese. These are quite basic, so I can understand what you're saying. Anything more than that, I'm gone. I failed Chinese since in my private school. So yeah. What? What's this? Bless the car, sir. I'm trying to get some tone, to get same tone, like most of your videos, but nowhere near same. You only have a black star. Okay. Well, the reason is because yeah, it's probably because of the gear. Because I use a, what you call that, the Line 6 Helix native plugin. So it's not really an amp. You are using an amp right now, so I can duplicate what I've done in my Helix with my amp, even in this small VC15. It'll take a while for me, but not too long, you know, a couple of minutes. But I could duplicate it. But with the amp, you have the added inconvenience of miking out the amp. So to mic out and trying to capture the true representation of what you're hearing is something else. That's why it's kind of hard for people who haven't done recording before, because I was an engineer, so I kind of know what I want to get and how to get it. So yeah, it's kind of hard to duplicate the sound sometimes, because also the way I play. You know, the way I play is probably different from the way you play, so that's why there's a whole difference. But don't feel too bad about it. You know, I think you would get to a point where you have your own sound. But it's always good if you want to emulate or follow someone else's sound or style. Yeah, go right ahead. There's no wrong to it. You know, it's like the final thing is that after you've gone through all that, like you're duplicating what people are doing, you have to come to a point where you have to branch out your own and try to get your own style. You know, because that's what makes you different from the rest. Yeah, that's the thing. Albert, your ethnic Chinese was called Korean in the US. Yeah, okay. Guna, I see it as a great opportunity to practice my Chinese, sorry, but I guess you don't speak so much Mandarin. I do. I speak Mandarin. Albert types Mandarin, but I do converse in Mandarin. You know, sometimes with more words, like, you know, when I got guys in China who, you know, who WeChat messaged to me, and they were like all in big words of Chinese, and I just couldn't understand a single word that he says. I would probably catch a couple of words, but in the end I would like kind of like have it on Google Translate to kind of find out what in the world is he talking about. How's the pickup selection? Well, it depends. Sometimes I use the neck, sometimes I use the middle position, and most of the time with the full-blown solo where you have a lot of distortion, I will use the bridge. Yeah. Like I got in touch with the guys in Art EART, because you guys were requesting for it, and I managed to contact the boss. You know, he's the one who runs the company in China, and he was typing to me. You know, he was typing a whole lot of Chinese words to me, and real nice fella. You know, I don't think he's really that old. I think he's kind of young, maybe in the mid-30s or early 40s. I don't know, but he seems to be a nice fella. So in the end, it was so troublesome for me to converse with him by text that I called him, and we had a good, lovely conversation, and that's why he sent me the guitar that he did, and yeah, he's a great guy, you know, and he's willing to improve, you know, his product, so that's a good thing. Yeah. You're right, Albert. You're right. It's okay, bless the car. Which part of Malaysia are you at? You at Selangor area in KL, or where are you? Where you at? Paul Dota. Yes, I had a fantastic week. I had a very eventful week. what happened was air conditioning, my air conditioner broke down on Monday. Monday it just kind of like stopped working. So my unit here is a window mounted unit. So it's been, oh man, this the okay, it's a long story because the original one was like about 30 years ago. I bought it in 30 years ago, and it was running really strong for 20 odd years. Then it died. I had a replacement, a refurbished unit installed, so that lasted probably about 8-9 years, maybe, yeah, 8-9 years, close to 10 though, yeah, close to 10. And then it died, which was on Sunday, which was on Monday. So I got another refurbished one, and hopefully this will last me for a couple more years. Why not buy a new one? Because the window mounted air conditioners like this have their own frame, and because the studio has been set up, like I had like soundproofing on the rest of the place, it's gonna be a hassle for me to reinstall the framework and all that. So I just thought, the heck with that, I'm just gonna get a refurbished unit. So far it's working. It's cold, nice, yeah. So yeah, that was on Monday. So I had to wait until Tuesday for the air conditioner to be installed, and then it came the guitars. The Earth came, okay, came, and then the rest of the guitars were in, like from GNL, and there was a guitar from Davis, a couple of guitars from Davis, which was really nice. So I had a fun time playing it. Yeah. Oh, you're in KL, good. I have a couple of good friends in KL, so yeah. Bill Smith, that was supposed to say children's cancer research. What? What you talking about, Bill? Timothy Matthew, hey, hi Tim. You got a second dose, cool, good for you. Paul Data aircon, you can hear it, or is that the sound of a fan? Very rhythmic. It's my air conditioner. It's on low now. It's loud. It's louder than the one before, probably because it's working the right way. David Sandqvist from Sweden. Hi, how are you? How's the weather there in Sweden? Mr. Box Studio. When recording, then off the aircon. Yeah, of course. If I'm doing acoustic guitar, the aircon, the air conditioning will be off, and then I'll be like, there'll be how should we call it, a time frame for me to record the song. So depending on how cold the room is, and if it gets enough, I can probably record for maybe like 40 minutes or 45 minutes tops before it starts to get warm again, because there'll be computer running, and yeah. That's the bummer. There's no central aircon here. This is not a full-fledged studio. I used to own a studio, so I know what is it like. But in a home studio like this, you gotta make do. So with the air conditioning so near the microphones, you had to turn it off. Yeah. Hey Chris, how are you? Good morning. Thank you for your coffee. So what Chris is doing is a super chat or super sticker. So if you want to buy me coffee, please feel free to go ahead. Yeah, it will help a lot. Buying strings, picks. But how do you return guitars to Davis Ninja event? No. They actually come and collect it from me. They do have a delivery service by themselves. From themselves. David, hey, how are you? Very hot here. Oh, 34. Wow, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. In Singapore, it's about the same, about 35. 35. It's still hot. Yeah. Today was it today? God, I lost track of time. Yeah, today was pretty good because it rained for a long time. It rained for like a couple of hours, so the temperature just kind of went down. What's the temperature now? Oh, it's 26 degrees. So, yeah, nice and cool. But then again, it's like midnight, after midnight. So yeah, I should be there. Super warm for Sweden. Summer, right? So yeah. When I track AC, it's like sauna. I can't really, yeah, you know how it is. Especially when you put on headphones, it's like, well, then it's okay. Timothy, my used Nick Johnston HSS is lost somewhere. Oh man, that's bad. Do they have insurance for this? Yeah, I hope they find it, Tim. Hi, Dave T. Oh, thank you, Paul. Yeah, that was a kind of a nice surprise. I got it in an email the other day. I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. Thank you, Paul. Mikael Johansson, by the way, guys, for anyone who's like me and want guitars as art pieces as well as instruments, I do urge you to check out the different Harley Bender SBK cheap matte black. Okay. I review a couple of those. Man, they're cheap and good. What's that? John, are you suffering from mosquitoes? In Singapore, I was free from mosquitoes, but once I got back to being in China... no. In case you don't know, Albert, Singapore has been very strict on residents residential area when where mosquito are rampant, because we have like dengue fever infection. So at one time dengue was quite bad. In case you guys don't know, dengue fever is derived from mosquito bites, because sometimes it will carry a sort of a fever for those people who are who are sensitive to the mosquito bites. So it's a kind of a epidemic in a way, but it's easily controlled as long as the breeding of mosquito is kept to a very minimal level. So what causes the breeding of mosquitoes is places like flower pots where there are like collections of puddles of water, or a body of water where it's stagnant, and this is where the mosquito will lay its eggs, and then and if you have an influx of all these mosquitoes, then chances are that area might be dengue infested. So Singapore has been very strict on this. So I don't really get mosquito bites these days, which is good. Yeah, and yeah, in China, especially if you go down to the south of China where it's like humid. In Taiwan, oh my God, Taiwan in summer around this time, there'll be a whole lot of mosquitoes because Taiwan is humid. And I remember when I was spending time in Taiwan, I used to get bitten by mosquitoes in the summer. Yeah, but come winter, it's okay. Everywhere is the same. Like when winter, the mosquitoes will go and sleep. They're probably going to hibernate or something like that. Yeah, but it's nice. You're currently fighting against a mosquito. You get a spray can or something. Mikhail, I bought a SBK base and was stunned by its build, so I'm going to buy some. Okay, good for you. Bless the car. Oh, you're from Singapore, sir, and I'm from Johor. Oh, okay. I thought you live in America. No, I wish. No, not really. I don't really wish to live in America. It's good to visit America, I guess, but even now visiting America is kind of a chore, because I've been to America so many times, and I don't have really good experiences, especially during the immigration part. It's a pain. Yeah, I mean, on second thought, if I were to live in America, probably like in a nice place. Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. But you know what? I probably would prefer to live in Europe. I love Italy. I would love to retire there, but I'm supposed to retire, but never mind. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Italy is a place for me. It's a beautiful country. Chris, you almost died of dengue before. Yeah, okay. I had a friend who had dengue, a good brother of mine, and I knew he had dengue, but I didn't know about the side effects of dengue. Apparently, dengue fever uh, does a number on your head, and you're not really the same as you recover from dengue. It'll take you probably about a couple of months to fully recover from dengue. And he was acting kind of funny because I was on tour with him in Italy, and he started forgetting stuff, parts that he's supposed to play. He forgot his keyboard once when we were on the train. So yeah, having dengue fever is not a joke. People actually die from it. There you go, Chris. It was gross because I was bleeding a lot. I won't share where because it's gross. Apparently, dengue the second time is very deadly. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, careful. You know. David, question: is it possible to load custom IR on the Zoom G5N? No, not on the G5N. But on the later versions, yes. The G6 and the G11. Yeah, you can do that. 8day. Having great luck with a hand wired 6V6 22 watts combo, but want to try something like the Helix. Which model? Okay, this is a very tough question because I like both of them. I would go for the Helix eventually because grazie fratello. Yes, I want to go back to Italy. Sorry. Sorry, Ed. Yeah, both are good. I would prefer the Helix because Helix has better effects. Yeah, they have better time-based effects and whatnot. The Kemper has very good amp modeling. That's a confirmed opinion from me. Right? I love the amp modeling, but when it comes to the whole package, whether is it usable when you're doing live, yeah, I'll prefer the Helix. Tim, you will love Toronto. I've been to Toronto. No difference from Singapore. You'll be shocked. All the local Singapore restaurants here. I know. I've been to Toronto. I've been to Vancouver. I've been to Quebec. I've been to what's the other place that I love? There's a place in Canada which I totally adore. What's that place called? It's beautiful. It's a real. How should we call it? Everywhere I go, there are like castles. Well, almost like castles or fort. It's all really nice. What's that place called? Let me think of it, and I'll let you know. Yeah, I like Canada too. Yeah, Canada is kind of nice. You have very good Italian food there too. The other place that have good Italian food is in Sydney. Even in Perth, they have great Italian food, and especially in Melbourne, really great Italian food. But was this Guarav Lama? I wanted to ask the total quality difference between the Helix and Kemper. Oh, I just said it. The tonal quality is about the same. Like when it comes to Kemper, they have like really good modeling algorithms going on, so you can actually hear a truer representation of an amp in terms of the response. But the Helix is no slouch. I love the Helix for what it does, and Helix has a whole lot of amps. And the thing about Helix is that they keep on updating their firmware, and that's the killer part. The customer support is that crazy. The Helix is almost like what, more than 5 years old now, maybe more than that. Yeah, 6 years, and it's still going strong because there's always firmware updates. They stand by the product, and yeah, So that's a Helix. You did you can stay. Oh, okay, you take care. You're converting an apartment into a music studio for gigging and record. Whoa, nice. Have fun. Which model might you suggest for home recording and live playing? Helix, Helix LT, Headrush, Kemper. I plan to buy a Bogner Shiver one day. Oh wow, man, go for it, man. If you can, if you can afford a Bogner, way to go. For live playing, either one would do. The Helix or the Helix LT would do. The Helix LT is more of a budget friendly unit. Yeah. My Albert, my electric swatter caught the moss just now and sent it to. Okay. Hey, thank you, Tim, for the coffee. That's a whole lot of coffee. Thank you. Was this Chris? Helix just because of the ecosystem. Yes, that's right. 8 day, thanks. Bless the car. Sir, have you tried the Mazio pickups, especially Crunch Lab? No, I have not. I have not. I try not to how should we call it? I try not to change pickups for the sake of changing pickups. My favorite pickups of all time has been EMGs, and I only change them when there's a need for me to go to EMGs. Like for example, my old Strat, my Japanese made Strat, the pickups were like gone, and I just wanted to keep the guitar going, so I changed it to a set of EMGs, Vince Gill. The reason being that I use this guitar a lot when I'm doing live shows, So I was touring back in 2015, I guess. Was doing a couple of shows, a lot of shows, and in a year I'm averaging like about 25 to 30 shows. So yeah, give or take, maybe sometimes more than that. And I use the guitar extensively, so I needed a noiseless set of pickups, so that's why I chose the EMGs. And they're good, they're great pickups, The EMG of course comes with the SPC control, where I can actually kind of boost up and boost up the gain, so I can have a little bit more sustain if I want to, and cut down if I want a cleaner sound. So it gives me a whole lot of versatility, which I miss these days, especially when I'm using other guitars. So I don't actually change pickups for the sake of changing. Like, the reason why I bought the Nick Johnston and the Jack Fowler is because of the pickups. The pickups are really sweet, really nice. And surprise, surprise, the Earth guitar that I received, I'm going to show you how I look like later on. And I was surprised at the pickups. The pickups are really sweet, really nice. Yeah. So I won't be changing the pickups if they are nice in the first place. So yeah. Where are we? Okay, Albert, Timothy. I think, at least in terms of Toronto is totally different from. Yeah, correct. The weather in Toronto is way nicer. Cool. Okay. Yes. Tuscany is nice. A lot of nice places in Italy. I went to Sicily. What's that place called? Oh man, it's like a city on a hill. What's it called? I gotta check my Facebook because I forgot the name. It was so beautiful, and we just hung around the beach, and oh man, yeah, I need to get back there again. Timothy, Toronto is so multicultural. Every type of authentic food. Yeah, I believe I've been there. I kind of enjoy my time there. Was doing it. I've been there like what 3 times or 4 times because I was doing concerts there. Yeah. Yes, Albert, you're right. It rules. Bill, I sent you an earlier text. What? I don't know who you are, Bill, because you're coming up with all sorts of weird stuff. Dave T, anyone tried the new Nuix? Well, I did a review. Let me find out what this guy is talking about. I'm sorry, if you're legit, Bill, because there are a lot of weird people around coming up with all sorts of rubbish. So I don't have time for all of that. And if you're not legit, I'm going to kick you out. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to reply. What sort of text have you sent me? Guraf Lama, I own the Helix LT, but I'm having problems with noise gate using high gain tones. Any suggestion for the noise gate would be helpful, John. Where do you situate your, well, the noise gate is at the start of the chain, right? So you gotta play around with it, because if you're gonna have a whole lot of distortion going on, like, then it's gonna be, well, let me put it this way: noise gate can only help to a certain limit, because in the end it's is really up to the pickups that you're using with your guitars. Some pickups are more noisy. For example, if you're gonna have high gain stuff, using high gain distortion and your preamps on your amp, and then you're using a single coil, that's not gonna be helpful, especially if your guitar is not grounded properly. There's gonna be like a crazy amount of noise, and no noise gate on earth can save you from that. It has to be a combination of of a lot of stuff, like how you want to set your gain structure. Like if you're gonna play a lot of high gain stuff, that's why EMGs are very popular with the metal guys, because EMGs are like noiseless, right? And it might be the pickups. So if you change the set of pickups, you might not even need to use a noise gate. And if you really do have noise still coming out, then the noise gate will kick in, and that will clean up a whole lot. So yeah. Timothy, I've been eyeing a Fullerton Deluxe Orange Blues Boy. It just got reduced in price. Go for it, man. Yeah. Okay, so this guy is a dud. Give me a second while where is he? Can't find him now. There you go. Okay, bye-bye. All right, where are we? Yeah, go for it, Tim. If it's a reduction in price, that's a great guitar to have. Mark Shields, when I'm using a modular and high gain, I never need a noise gate. I just set the gain right at the point that I won't need a noise gate. It's always enough. Yeah. Okay. So it's a question of how much you're going to put into the unit. Some units like the Helix will give you a way to adjust the input coming into the unit. So if you want a little bit more gain, a little more signal coming into a unit, you can always adjust from the Helix itself. But when you're using like a whole lot of distortion pedals and whatnot you have, and then going to a high gain amp like a Uber amp, some high gain solo amps, and then you're cranking up the gain, on that what you call it, the simulation itself, the amp simulation itself, then it's going to create a whole lot of noise. But it doesn't create a whole lot of noise if your guitar in the first place is quiet. So if your guitar is quiet, then you'll be fine. But once your guitar is noisy, that's where everything kind of multiply, and as you go along the signal chain, it multiplies, and yeah, and then it becomes uncontrollable. I've seen guys using 2 noise gate, which I think is like redundant because there's actually no need. I've seen guys putting noise gate after the amp, which I don't think is the right thing to do. But then to each his own, so. Timothy, I have a lemon drop HP35 and a string buzz, annoying. I don't know if it's a tuner or a bridge. Our string buzz will probably will be there because of uneven frets. Yep, so you might want to procure this little tool so you can okay, I'm going to show you a guitar. Okay, this is a Michael Kelly. This is a, I don't know what's a model. I forgot the model. But it's a beautiful. So what you do with this tool is that you kind of like hold it across the frets here, and it's called a rocker. So because if everything is like flat, you won't have any problem with it. So this thing can rock. Right here I can feel there is one here. So you have to narrow down to this 3 frets. So okay, so it's rocking. I can feel it. So meaning this fret is out, like protruding out. So what you do is you take a we call it a mallet. It's like a rounded how should you call it, a plastic covered hammer, and kind of like tap in the frets. Sometimes you need to give it a big whack, but be careful that you don't damage the fretboard. So as you go along the fret, this is pretty good. The frets are pretty set correctly. Yeah, so we have problem with this fret, just this fret alone. The rest seems to be okay. Yeah. So it's a good tool to have, a rocker. So this guitar features rock feel pickups. These are like mini humbuckers. I like the way the way the wood is, the grain of the wood. This is made in Korea again. Same like the other one, the 55. Nice back. Very plain back. I guess this is I don't know whether this is a basswood body or alder. I don't know. Could be. I haven't got the specs with me, so yeah, I just got this guitar like a couple of days ago, like 2 days ago. And it's heavy. Yeah, it's heavy. It weighs a bit. I think it's about 3.5. Yeah. Alright, where were we? Chris, okay. Now, Tonefish had a point. All right, so basically they work the same, but the noise gate has more. The noise gate effects have more parameters to it, so you might just want to try it. And if all else fail, maybe do both, like the input gate as well as the noise gate. David, question 2: is it better a patch with clean amp and pedals for distortion, or a patch with an amp with 2-channel with the distortion coming from the amp? I'm trying to understand your question, David. Is it better to have a patch with a clean amp and pedals for distortion, or a patch with an amp? Oh, okay. I think I talked about this last one of the last live stream, where I explained why I prefer distortion from the amp instead of like through the pedals if I can if I can if I can help it. Reason being, I like the way the distortion that is coming from the amp sounds. Like for example, the solo amp that is in Helix, and even some of even the orange has very nice, you have some very nice orange simulation. And take for example the JCM, sorry, the JCM 800, the Marshall amps. Some of these high gain amps have really nice distortion, really nice creamy distortion. Some of them, but a lot of them have really nice creamy distortion by itself. There's no need for me to add in a distortion pedal. And maybe for just a little bit of a kicker, I will probably add in a boost pedal, before the amp, just to kick in, and that's about it. And that patch will be just for distortion. So when I'm using my Helix, I can actually create a patch for whatever I want, like this whole amp simulation with full-blown distortion, and then I even have an option to kind of like add in the booster if I need to, and then I have another patch where I have a clean amp like the Fender Deluxe or the Twin Reverb or whatever it is. So this is how I work my way around in the Helix. Vault Dweller stopping by to show my support. Keep it up. Thank you, Vault. Thank you, Vault Dweller. I'm sure that's not your name. Okay, so okay. Bye, Mikael. Take care. What? My friend's bucket list is to ride Stelvio Pass on a bike. Oh, yeah. You got, I wanted to go for a bike ride in Taiwan. In Taiwan, they actually have a sort of a bike tour, around the island, or even from south to north, from Taipei to Tainan or something like that. But you need a train. It's not easy. Okay. So Mark agrees with me. Albert, thanks to your live stream, you're awake and caught the third mosquito just now. Otherwise, I'll be pissed off for the whole night. 3 mosquitoes in one room in a northern town. Okay. Where are you now, Albert? Which part of China are you in at? David, I'm thinking of getting a better acoustic. Should I go Taylor Martin Road or choose a Yamaha? A whole lot cheaper, a whole good quality for the buck. If you only need to get one acoustic, right? Yeah, go for the Martin or go for a Taylor, because it'll be an investment. I have my Taylor 520, or is it 512, 520? Yeah, for the longest time. I have it like for almost 25 years now. Yeah, is it 25 years? Maybe less than that. Well, maybe more than that. Yeah, more than that. It's about 25 years. I bought it because I needed a good acoustic guitar for my session work. I was using the Ovation before that, and I bought this, and I bought two. In fact, I bought a 12-string and a grand concert. And it served me so well that the work that I've done with this guitar has have come back to me many times. So it's always good to invest in a really good guitar if you're just gonna buy one or two guitars. In fact, I own just one acoustic guitar for the longest time, just this Taylor. It's only recently when I started doing this YouTube channel and reviewing guitars that I got tempted and finally pulled the trigger on a D-35, which I don't regret, because the D-35 is a great guitar to have. and that's all I have. So I have a Taylor and a Martin, and that is like enough for me. Although I have other guitars like lying around, but the Martin and the Taylor. Oh yes, and the Enya is my live guitar. And before Enya, there was a Taylor. What is this? Not a baby Taylor. What's the other one? GS Mini, right? I had a GS Mini. I used a GS Mini for live work, but I found that it wasn't adequate enough. So I was looking for a better live acoustic guitar, and I found the Enya. Enya was great. So now the Enya is my live guitar. For my recording, I would use the Martin or the Taylor, and even the Enya. The Enya sounds great too, of course of its OM size. So if I want a certain kind of sound, I would use the Enya. Yeah, so it's always good to have a really basic, good guitar like a Taylor or a Martin, and just stick with it until you can afford to buy other. Instead of buying like a cheaper brand or a lesser model where you're going to like upgrade later on. Just bite the bullet, save it, and save up, and just go for a Martin. You can go for a Martin D28. D35 is the best for me because I find that D35 is an all-rounder where I can do strumming, arpeggios, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of D35s are used for recordings, and because they are so tape friendly. Yeah, it's easy to record a D35, so yeah, something to think about. Okay. Guraf, I use Ibanez, that has a DiMarzio pickups. It works fine with plugins using high gain, but the only problem I'm facing is the noise gate, which I couldn't balance it to my liking, sadly. Well, it takes time, yeah. Wally, yes, Todd. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Tonefish, hey John, your thoughts? Which you think is highest in quality? Squire, GNL Tribute, MMEB Sterling. You want to know the truth? The truth is they're about the same in many ways. I can't vouch for the Sterling because I haven't tried the Sterling yet. But as far as the Squire and the GNL Tribute, it's about the same because I've recently discovered that some of the QC for Indonesian models are not up to par, and I was a little bit disappointed. But then you get a good set, you get a good ones, you get a lemon, so it's a little bit, it's not really standardized, or like Japanese make guitars. You know that there's a standard there. So whenever you buy something from Japan, a guitar made in Japan, like the ESP or even the the Edwards, you know that, or the Fender Japan, you know that it's gonna be of a certain quality. But guess what? Recently, I found out that a lot of guitars that are made in China is becoming like that. They have really good quality control these days. So I reviewed like the grassroots guitars, which is from ESP, but they were manufactured in China. I reviewed the Corona, right? The Corona guitar is like impeccable. It's like I said, it's almost on par with the Japanese made guitars because it's like really well made. So the standard has already started to rise. They have raised up the bar in China. So yeah, I think China made guitars are something to look out for in the future. Indonesian, I have no qualms with Indonesian made guitars because I think they also have really nice guitars. Like most of the Harley Bentons, some of the Harley Bentons that I own are all made in Malaysia, Indonesia. Like for example, the Fusion Pro, nice. They're well made. So it depends on the company, whether how strict they are with their QC. And I don't blame the workers. I don't blame the way the factory has been run, but the quality control is very important. And a lot of times, companies don't really bother too much about quality control when it comes to, I don't know, certain companies don't do that, right? G&L, yeah, I've seen G&L tributes that suffer from the same problems, but the G&L Fullerton Deluxe are like, fine, they're really great guitars. So that's one reason why I keep on advising people, like, they ask me, like, should I get a tribute or should I get a Fullerton Deluxe? I would say get a Fullerton Deluxe, because you pay a little bit more, well, maybe a whole lot more, but it's worth it, And going to, before using a fret rocker, be sure the neck relief is right. At this temperature, the neck like to go around. Yeah, that's right. Just detected. Okay, Albert, have fun. David, stop in Verona. I'll be a guide to show you the best places and the best food and wine, of course. I live near Valpolicella, right? Valpolicella? Policia? A famous area for red wine. Let me know when you're here. Yeah, I will, David. I will let you know. Yes, I do. Are you northern China? Yeah. I speak Taigi. Well, I'll call Taigi. So I'll talk to the Taiwanese in Taigi. Wally. Jack, hi Jack. How are you doing, Jack? Only key you John because I know, Todd. I know. Wow, this is a mouthful. Mrityunjay Mishra, right? Hi Jonathan. Bullet for my Valentine just released their new track named Knives. Good for them. I don't listen to them, so I wouldn't know. Yes, bless the car. You're right. T Jackson, hi. How are you? Rock and roll. Okay. I'm gonna have a real short stream tonight because I'm kind of what the British would say knackered. Yeah, a bit tired. I'm going to show you this guitar before I leave. So this is what I got from Earth, E-A-R-T, E-A-R-T-H. This, I think I kind of like gave you a sneak peek in the community page. So this is the E-335. I think the model is called ES or something like that, ES-335. Really nice. So this is like a open pore kind of finish, and this was available many months back, maybe a year or so, in Amazon. So this is the latest model in a way, because they kind of changed a couple of stuff, especially the workmanship, because there were some YouTubers who complained about the level of workmanship that it was in want, and there were a lot of problems with the paint and all that. So this all been pretty well QC'd. This is an example of what I meant. Tom is the guy that runs ERTH Earth, and he told me that he guaranteed that this guitar wasn't like specifically or specially chosen for me to be reviewed. This is just same as any guitars that they send out to the customers. So I was a bit disappointed. No, I thought I'll get a specially QC, or really makeover guitar, but I'm on the other hand, I'm pretty glad, because then this is a true representation, and I try to represent as transparent as I can, the products that I reviewed, because if it's not there, I won't review it. So I'm going to review this guitar. Reason why, because I actually played with it for a while before this live stream, and I was like blown away. This is a great guitar. Yeah, it is a great guitar. Not only does it look good, it sounds really good. And the pickups really sound good, and the neck is so comfortable. I mean, as a player, what more can you want? Because I get guitars all the time. I have like Les Pauls or my Fender Strats, and some of the expensive ones. I think the most expensive is my Les Paul, I guess. And he has like like scratches and whatnot. You have like knocks and stuff like that. My old Japanese Strat, means a lot to me in sentimental value. But he has a whole lot of nicks and scars on it, which you can call it as being what's that word? What's the word that you use? Oh man, short-term memory loss. What's the word that people use? Anyway, you know what I mean, right? So, you come off thinking that, okay, like I bought Harley Bentons, right? Harley Bentons, in the earlier days, the guitars came in with a lot of little paint jobs and stuff like that, little paint marks here and there, and guys would be bitching about it and returning it to them. And I believe at one time I think they were receiving a whole lot of return guitars, which I don't blame, because in another hand, I understand that you paid for this guitar, you expect it to be immaculate in many ways. But then again, you look at the price of this guitar. For example, the cheapest guitar is about $100 in Singapore dollars, right? That's like what, $89 or $70. And there'll be people who returns it. I'm telling you, there'll be people who return the guitar because there's a little bit of a nick here, or something. Unless it's a major problem, like for example the pickups are not seated properly, or there's no sound in electronics. Yeah, right. But I've seen guys really nitpicking on stuff like that, and I'm kind of, yeah. So for me, guitar is a guitar. If it plays well, I don't give a shit. Sorry, pardon my French. I don't give, two cents about how it looks, because if it's just a little bit of a dot here and there, I'm fine with it, because if it plays well, it plays well. Like my Martin D35 is a showroom model. There's a bit of a indentations somewhere along the way, but I don't mind because it sounded great, and I love the feel of it. And City Music was so kind, because they wanted to get me a brand new D35, and actually brought it down for me to try, and I tried it. Why not? I chose the showroom model. Same with my G&L. Like G&Ls that I have, the Blues Boy as well as the Comanche. Those are all showroom models, because they have been placed for display for people to try, and I pick it up and I play it and I like it. Yeah, I go for it. So yeah, sometimes we tend to look at things too materialistically in a way, but ultimately in the end, the guitar, there is something about the guitar that you will know when you play it. And in the first place, if you buy that guitar, you would probably know, or probably want to know, how this guitar would sound. And because if you are ordering a guitar from Amazon or from online, and you think the guitar looks good, then you're like, that's the reason why I encourage you guys to go down to the shop and try guitars out. Because from the catalog, from the web, it looks really fine, but when it arrives to you, and if it plays well, hey, the heck with it. I'm keeping the guitar. But guys will come in and say, "Oh, I got this little paint job. I'm gonna return this. I'm gonna return that." And even if they find a guitar plays well, sounds great, that doesn't matter for them. They'll be like nitpicking on that little dot, or scratches here and there. Like I said, I'm fine with the fact that you pay good money for a guitar. It should arrive with into your hands in perfect condition. But life is full of surprises. Sometimes things just don't work out your way, Hey, thank you, David. Thank you for the coffee. Oh, where were we? Okay, I was ranting on and on. All right, David. Ciao. Have fun. Bye bye. Albert, I'll be pretty shocked if John listens to animals as leaders. Or do I invest in Bitcoin? No, I don't. ES335, me, no. What are you talking about? But I know Bitcoiners are experiencing a pretty hard period of time. Relic, yeah, relic. That's the word, relic. Yeah, it needs time. You're right, Gwendler. Just bought an Epiphone Les Paul Modern. Figured, can you please provide your brief review on it? I can't, because I don't have the guitar with me. Bummer. Timothy, how's the Art Tally or Stratocaster? Yeah, I'm actually pretty interested in that, and I actually asked him for it, and he told me that they ran out of stock because it was like one of their hottest selling guitars. So I have to wait, and yeah, he's gonna send me more guitars in the future. So we'll see how it goes. Gunnar, my HP F2 HSH roasted was a B stock. Found a small discoloration spot on the fretboard, nothing else. Do you kept it? I'm sure you kept it, right? Because it plays well. Brendan Masheri, greetings from Ireland. How are you, Brendan? Great for you. Great of you to join us, Brendan. Yeah, so for me, this guitar looks perfect. No faults whatsoever. This guitar is going for like about what, 300 over dollars US, and 380, 360, 380, give or take. But it's really well made, you know. And I found out that the tuners are made in Korea. These tuners are from Korea. These are all in country. That means they are made in China. The pickups were designed by them, but they were sourcing out to to the pickup manufacturers. But the design is from Art, and they sound good. Yeah, I was kind of surprised. And when I look at this guitar, you know, it's like the open pore design, and you got me thinking, like, you know, this is not glossy. This is nothing compared to my Tokai. My Tokai is like really fine gloss, really nice looking and everything, and my Tokai sounds great. I was thinking like this will never come on par with my Tokai, but hey, it's not bad. So in my review, I'm gonna like do a comparison, you know, of these two guitars, so you kind of know that this guitar is up there, you know. Yeah, nice. I like it. And I've seen the Strat models, really nice. Yeah, I've seen the Strat models and the Tally, and they look nice. So a lot of them, like I've seen like some reviews, not all. In fact, I only saw one or two. I've seen people talking about these guitars and all that, but for me, it's just another guitar. It's just another guitar. It's just like any guitars that I review. The Corona, I love the Coronas. In fact, this latest one, the Corona Modern Plus, I think, yeah, it's one of my favorite guitars for a long time. Yeah, I think it plays. Now I understand why my Luke has a 42 nut width. I used to think, why is this guitar so narrow as compared to the rest with the 43 You know, 1 mm plays a whole lot of difference when it comes to the nut width. And I understand why now, because yeah, some people just like the narrow width, so that, you know, you can actually fret easily and do chord works easily. But certain people with more stubby fingers will probably find a chore or a challenge. But I kind of like it. The Corona has 42 mm net width, so it's really comfortable. When I first started playing, um, I tend to fret out because I'm so used to 43 mm, right? So, but after a while, I got used to the to where I'm supposed to go and where I'm not supposed to hit. It was fine. So I love playing on the Corona. Yeah. Excuse me. Gunnar, that's a nice guitar, John. Yeah, it's nice. John, as a PRS hater, will you think about PRS for a semi-hollow? No, no. I'm not really a PRS hater. Just don't like them. Yeah. No, it's not that I just don't like all PRS guitars. You know, like I totally adore the McCarthy and what's the other one? Paul's guitar. I thought those two guitars are really well designed and they really sound good. They actually sound great. The rest, koozie. I'm not like totally disliking them, like hating them. I just don't really fancy how it sounds like and feel like. You know. Tonefish, John, if you were shopping for a new semi-hollow, what brand would you be looking at? There is Gointe. There is. It's one of the new. In fact, this is the new model, which they're pushing for it. So it's in the art website. Yeah, take a look, check it out properly. Just scroll down a little bit. What I would, if I were looking for a semi hall, I would save my money and get me a 335. Seriously, with the block inlays. Right. I love my Tokai. If I don't have the Tokai, I would save up money and get a original Gibson 335, but not the new ones. I would buy used, second hand, and be happy. And I would probably get one that is pre 2008. Yeah, pre 2008. Yeah, those are the best years. So I'll probably get a 335 from there. Have you found it yet, Going to 9? Brendan, how is summer like in Ireland? I have a couple of friends in Ireland, but I have no idea how is it like in Ireland in the summer. Is it hot? Is it like what's the temperature like? 26 degrees? So who among you guys are into bitcoins? No? 9? That's strange. I saw it the other day. I was at a website. It's here. I'm seeing it right now. I'll show you. I'm old, bummer. I'm old as dirt. Window capture, is it? Window capture. No. Desktop. No. Art. Okay, yeah. Okay, look at this, Gointler. Where is this? How come I can't do Windows display? So display capture, window display. There you go. Okay, can you see this? Quite there. So you saw it. Okay, so this is in the website, so it's there. How much is it? It's 389. I don't know whether is this 389 in US dollars. Should be, huh? And they even have a left-handed model, so cool. What's this? All right, I'm back again. Oh, bless the car, you're on Bitcoin? Cool. You didn't, you know, I'm such an idiot because I've no idea how Bitcoin work. I've seen guys buying graphics card, you know, just for the sake of harvesting Bitcoins. So I don't understand how this whole concept works. I probably got to read it up, but if you guys can actually give me a rundown of it, like in the simplest form, I will appreciate it. Tonefish, I was hoping to like the Angelico, and the Angelico. I always have problem pronouncing that. And the Angelico DC Premier. I looked at a used one in the shop, and the fretboard was coming unglued from the neck. He said, "Typical the Angelico." Yeah, okay. That's bad. That's bad QC. That's bad quality control. Oh, but note for anyone who doesn't understand John's pronunciation for the digit 335, 3 is the Singaporean way to pronounce 3. 335. 335. Thank you, Albert. MCD57. I've got an older Washburn HB35 and I love it. Nice. Bomber looks beautiful. We're too poor to gamble on Bitcoin. Oh, really? So you need money to So you need money to invest. But how does it work? You know, I just want to know, how does it work? Do you have to buy another computer to set this up, and how do you go about setting it up? You know, I don't want to go into it. I'm just curious. It's okay. I'll probably read into it. I'll find time. What, the graphics card is used for mining? Mining is an expensive thing. Just buy and hold. Pretty same like stock market. All right. So how does the graphics card come into play? Because as far as I know, graphics cards are good for like gaming, and that's about it. But you know, okay. Bomber has a Bitcoin, a code generated by programs which require heavy calculative power, plus graphics. This is not regulated as of now, as each ledger is independent. I'm kind of right. So it's a code. So it's okay, guys. I don't want to like bog you down in explaining. I'm probably gonna read it up. You know. So my thing is, how can a set of code generate income, and how does it become a commodity? You know, how does it evolve from there to something that you can trade? Mining is like creating, and you need power. Power as in CPU power, or in CPU power, so you need to get a really powerful computer in order to do that. All right. Oh, now I get you. Okay, Albert. So I'm supposed to say 335. Yeah, okay, 335. All right, whatever. I'm not American. You know. The reason why I have this sort of weird accent is because to make myself more understandable by guys who are not Singaporeans. Because if I were to speak Singaporean, like Albert would know, some of you guys probably Bless the Car would know from Malaysia, that it will be totally misinterpreted, because it'll be like so fast, and you probably won't understand a single word I say. In Singlish, that's what we call it. GPU power, I think. Kind of complex. Okay. All right, I'll go and check it out. bummer. The main source code was written by a developer by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto, and it got popular in the dark web due to some great websites like the Silk Road. Okay. So I've been browsing at the articles in Flipboard, and they were talking about Bitcoins and how it's gonna go down, and there's gonna be a crash and whatever. It doesn't really concern me, but I just kind of wondering what in the world is this, because I like to know and find out things. Yeah. So in case you guys were wondering about that Earth guitar, it's a mahogany wood for the body, maple neck, even though it doesn't look like maple. It's all really finished. This is a maple neck. Yeah. From far it looks like a sort of a mahogany neck. Right? There's a whole lot of painting going on, so you can actually see that it's heavily worked on in terms of paint. You have, but the neck is satin finish, so it's really smooth, nice. Yeah. Almost like a roasted maple feel to it. Yeah. Then this is a mahogany body, 9.5 compound radius. It's crazy. Okay, this is the thing that got me. It has a 9.5 to 14 inch fret radius. So it's 9.5 to 14 inch. So it's pretty cool. Then you have a bone nut. This is a real bone nut. He told me it's a water buffalo bone nut. Right? What else do you have? C shape. Whoa, what did I write? Oh, C shape neck and stainless steel frets. Right? These are medium jumbos, and the way that these frets are installed is like crazy, because the ends are really nice. It's like rounded off. It's not like filed off. It's like rounded off. It's quite amazing. Yeah. So guitar happy. It's not light. I mean, it's not heavy. It's not heavy. Maybe it's like 3.2, 3.3. Yeah, around that region. Timothy Matthew, I lost my Singlish accent. The code is secure, decentralized, and limited. Other cryptos are planning to underlie the future of digital commerce with smart contracts program that can be used to trade. Okay. White trim ports, yeah. If you join Bitcoin one day, avoid leverage. Don't even know what is that. Bummer. Remember that guy who threw away a hard drive full of Bitcoins? Don't be that guy. Okay. Stainless steel frets in a hollow. Yeah, that's right. Stainless steel frets. Or that guy who bought a pizza. Also, there was a kid who asked for Bitcoins on his birthday, and his father got some. Now he's a CEO type. Wow. Okay. Yeah, the pizza guy must be baked now. Okay. Some of the close-up of the AR2 frets look like they are rounded before installation, and some look too short. Not on this. This is like really uniform all along. Yep, and it's in a way you're probably right. They're probably rounded before installation, but this guitar is not too bad. Yeah, it's installed. Yeah, not too bad. Nicely installed. Of course, I don't think you can get like how should we call it, a uniform straight line. Even some of the GNL guitars or the more expensive guitars doesn't have even had that kind of uniformity. This one, it's not too bad, you know. Nice action. And you know what? The best part of it is the truss rod adjustment. You know, remember you used to need a sort of a small screwdriver to kind of take out this cover. You don't have to now. It just slides off like that. Can't see because yeah, it just slides off like this. And then you can adjust. And after you adjust, slide it back on and lock it into place. And then no need for tools. It's pretty neat. Jana, hi, how are you? Hey, David Hernandez. What do I think about marijuana? I think it's great. I haven't taken any marijuana before, but if it's for medicinal purpose, yeah, why not? You know, love some Mike Love and reggae music. That's funny. I'm big and just ate a pizza. Janer, also Jonathan, I always wanted to ask the Harley Benton ST20 HSS aka handful. I know. How's it going now? After seeing your review, I'm planning to get it. I don't have it with me. I actually gave it to a friend of mine. It's nice. It's a very basic guitar. So if you just start playing, then okay, then you don't spend a whole lot or too much, or you don't spend the lowest that you can afford. You know, then that'll be a great guitar to get at this price range. But if you have a little bit more to spare, then it's better to get something better. Yeah. Dimitri, привет. Thank you. Marijuana. If you're referring to a drug, I think it's banned in all Asian countries. Hi, Spike. How are you? I was down at where was I? I was down at Reno, I think. Was it Reno? Yeah. And we were taking a walk, a long walk, because we walked from our hotel all the way down to the Guitar Center. And on the way, we passed by a couple of clinics that actually dispenses marijuana. So it's pretty cool. We passed by one clinic, and there's this big black dude who's a security there. And there's this big sign, marijuana. And I go like, is this for real? I said, yo, dude, you want to come? You want to come in and give it a try? I said, no, I'm okay. So that was an eye-opener for me. So I guess in certain states, marijuana has been legalized, you know. Oh, no. Taiwan, no. That would be a long time. And Tom Fisher, right? The drug laws in Singapore are crazy. Still are. And I think it's good. It's a good thing. The deterrent is there for a purpose, you know? Okay. Alright, Janer. Then that'll be a good guitar to get, yeah. Crocky Cat, hey, Jonathan, and everyone, you're late. I was watching the cricket. Oh, okay. So who won? Well, not all laws in Singapore are crazy. You know what's the latest buzz in Singapore? There's this American guy who posted in Facebook and Catatuna, right? It says he actually posted a picture of the Marina Bay Sands Hotel in Singapore, really nice looking building, and it says downtown Catatuna, you know, and that got a whole lot of backlash from us Singaporeans because we were like, we weren't doing anything. We just like spamming this whole post with pictures of guys in Singapore or landmarks in Singapore and just labeling it as something else, something American. So that was pretty funny, you know. Oh yeah, right. Oh, okay. It's the first day of a 5-day test match. Interesting. I know nuts about cricket, so you know. Although I have a couple of kids down in the block, poor guys, because they're the holidays now, and they are playing cricket. These are the Indian kids, because I guess their parents have come over for work and they brought a family. So there are a couple of Indian kids and they were playing cricket. So that's pretty interesting. Matitude, you're gonna play some for us in a bit. No, I'm not gonna play tonight. Yeah. Croaky Kid, hope you guys are all okay there in Singapore. Heard that. What? Oh yeah, Jana, you're from Maldives. Wow, nice. We yeah, there was like up and down. So at one time, it hit quite high, about 125 cases or something like that, and then it went down to single digit. I think the lowest was like about 5, and then it kind of reared its head up again. So it's 100 and something again today. And the most alarming part is they kind of spread out across the island, and some of the cases cannot be traced. But most of the cases that have been reported has been like confined to home restriction home, and for them to recover. But the good news is that a lot of us, well, especially guys around my age, have been vaccinated. So they were still waiting for the rest of the population to get vaccinated fully. So by then, probably by August, I guess, August or September, most of the population in Singapore would be vaccinated. Yeah. So hopefully by November, I guess, or December, we will have some sort of a herd immunity going on. Yeah, then we can just breathe a little bit easier. Yeah, it's like it's crazy. I mean, just when you thought it was gonna end, then something happens. Yeah. So it was okay in May. It was fine in May, and then right after you left, it flared up again because of the variant from India, and it kind of spread. So at one time it was really bad because it hit the primary school. So the primary school kids were infected. Some of them were infected, but the government was really fast, clamped down everything. So we went into lockdown. It was sort of a semi-lockdown. There's no eating out anymore. You can only get takeaways. Yeah, so they're gonna relax a little bit. So now we have like five. We can have 5 person, 5 people can get together. So it's cool, but no dining out. Yeah, so that's how it is. All right. So well, hope. Okay, well you're back in August. Okay, you're coming back in August. Cool. Matitude, Naren, I love listening to your playing. I learn a lot and use some of your licks. Still enjoy the chat though. Yeah. I mean, I I I was watching a YouTube video last night, and it just kind of brought back a whole lot of memories. And that YouTube video was from Larry Carlton. Some Kind Soul has posted a Starlix video of Larry Carlton, which I owned many years back. And when I was watching the video, I kind of like, okay, so this is where I got my influence from. A lot of my influence, because I love Larry Carlton's playing. And yeah, then I kind of like, okay, so I actually stole a lot from Larry Carlton, as well as from Steve Lukather and other guys, from Jay Graydon. So it's sort of a mishmash of influence, and you guys should do that. I mean, if you want to learn, just learn from the rest of the guys you can pick up from. So you just might want to check out that video I'm talking about from Larry Carlton. It's really an eye opener for me back then. It's still an eye opener for me right now. So it's really nice to see him teaching and sharing. He's so generous. He's so gracious. And he was sharing about certain things that he does and the way he plays. And there are a couple of segments where he and the band was playing in Big Potatoes. This is back in 1985, 1985. Right? 1985. Yeah, 1985, 83. And they were playing in Baked Potatoes. So you had Abraham Labro, what's this guy? J.R. Robinson on drums, Alex Acuna percussion, and Terry Trotter, his favorite keyboard player, wonderful keyboard player, and the snippets of them live, playing live, and it's just mind blowing. Yeah, his control of his guitar and the feedback that he gets is really, really good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Matitude, have you always lived in Singapore? Yes, I've born here. Yeah. You have a hard time learning bending. Have you watched my videos about bending? Bless the car. Conky Cat, just to be safe, I'm sure you are. Probably most people think that because summer is here, all is okay. That's a myth. We still have to be careful till the global number drop anyway. Enough about seeing night. Yeah, okay. No, it's okay, Conky Cat. I think it is great for you to kind of remind us. Albert, you can easily identify a Singaporean Malaysian Chinese by their surname. Yeah, we have very weird surname. I used to work in a import export firm called Linitivis Jacob. In case you guys find that familiar, it's a Dutch firm, and I used to sell pumps, centrifugal pumps, and I would liaise with our principal, KSB pumps in Germany, and I would send telex to them, and I would sign off as Cole, and they would reply my telex in German, and they said, Danke, Herr Kohl. Kohl. They thought I was German. So I had to explain, no, I'm not German. So can you please reply to me in English because I'm Chinese. So it's very funny, Yeah. Crocky Cat are Larry Carlton are named for that solo on Kid Shyamalan is a great example for a perfect solo. That man is as well. Yeah, it's more than that. If you listen to a lot of his, if you listen to his works, if you listen to his albums, and if you ever heard him live, you know that this guy has something else that a lot of guitar players do not have. But he kind of lost it as he grew older, because I guess he was trying to keep up with the times. But back then in the 80s, he was at his peak, and he was also learning, and I guess Larry Carlton, is a lot like us. When we are learning stuff, we tend to be better. But when we stop learning, that's where we get, plateau up. But back in 1985, he was so good, because he was doing all sorts of things and the way he plays, he's such a sensitive player. Every nuances, and it's great. He's a great exponent of dynamic playing. Yeah, dynamic playing. Yeah, check it out. Matitude. Wow, your English is so good. I thought for sure you have been to the U.S. No. Tonefish. Best car, play the note that you want to bend to, then bend and match the tone over and over again. Albert, Singaporeans, especially educated elders, are fluent in English without strong Singaporean accent. That's partly true because I come from SGI. My school is St. Joseph's Institution, and most of us from that school actually speaks really good English. We have a couple of DJs, well-known DJs in that school, and quite a number of good musicians from that school too. So somehow the culture in that school that I was from was really healthy for wannabe musicians, or guys who are in the arts. Yeah, so we kind of speak the way we do, even at that tender age of 11, yeah, all the way up to when we passed out from that school. I mean, graduate, not passed out. We graduated from the school. Yeah. Magnitude. Have you heard of Jason Becker? He's my favorite guitarist. He really could play any style he wanted. Yes, Jason Becker. I've heard of him. He's a great player. Our Albert, general Singaporean young people have way more strong accent, but the elite youth speaks as Americans. Yeah, which applies if you're talking to an American. And that's a problem with some of these kids because they'll speak American like as if like they were born in America, but there's actually no need to. And if I were talking to an American, I would speak the way that the whole purpose is for him to understand me. He or she will find it easier to have a conversation with me because I can kind of speak the lingo. But if I were talking to a British guy, which I do most of some of the time, when I'm away, when I was playing a gig in Singapore, when there are British guys that come up to me and have a conversation with me about my gear or stuff like that, and I will speak in the Queen's English as much as I can, so that he can understand what I'm trying to say. But when it comes to a local guy, when a local guy comes to me, I would just switch back to Singlish, and then we could have conversation to our heart's content, and we would talk the way we talk. So it for me, I try to be a good communicator in many sense of the word. So when I'm in Taiwan, I would speak like you asked me about Dengue, I would speak the lingo in Chinese Mandarin, and I would have a conversation with them as much as my Chinese can carry me. So there are certain times when I get into a roadblock and I go like, okay, I don't know how to say this word, so I gotta kind of explain to him in the best way possible so he understands what I'm trying to get across. And then when I'm in Hong Kong, I can speak a smattering of Cantonese, but the Hong Kongese are pretty okay because most of them do understand English, so it's not a problem. Yeah. Cronky Cat, I agree with what you say about Larry Carlton. He was at his peak in the 80s. I think he got lost in himself as time went on. Yeah. I mean, that happens to a lot of us, to a lot of players. Bless the car. I got a tone, but the upper string will be above my nails. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Bless the car, sir. Do you ever listen to Malaysian band like Search? I know Hillary. Hillary Ang. I know him personally. I know the whole band, Headwind. I know each and every one of them, including Zainal Abidin. So they used to play with me side by side in this club that I used to perform in, and we are good friends. Yeah. Matitude, are guitars and gear more expensive in Singapore, or is it about the same as anywhere else? I don't know. About the same, I guess. When it comes to guitars, they might be a little bit more expensive here. If you're talking about brands like Gibson and whatever. But certain stuff are cheaper here. Yeah. And I'm not gonna do a push for Davis, but Davis actually has one of the best priced item in Singapore. The guitars are not like more expensive than in anywhere else. They actually price very realistically, and sometimes you can get good discounts too. Corky Cat, nearly everyone that speaks English as a second language that they learn in school speak right better than many of us that English is our first language. We have become lazy. Yeah, I think so. And that's the reason why I don't really like the text. I prefer to call people. Unless like there's it's really inconvenient for me to call, then I'll probably text. But I hate texting. By the time I text, I could just call that guy up and just get my message across and just done with it. Yeah, that's right. In mainland China or Hong Kong, there are discounts. Oh, in Singapore too, if provided you know the people over here. Albert, I think it depends on the education level. Okay, people as me have obtained good English skills. Otherwise, we can't survive abroad. You're correct. I meant to put ROL at the end of my post, but right now it was meant to be more humoristic. Humorist. But I must admit that the education system in America, if provided you go to the right school, they are way better from what I see. Because I got guys, well, they're American Chinese. They were born and bred there, and he's young. I think he's like 23 this year, maybe more than that. But when I first met him, he was like 18, 19. I first met him when he was 16, right? So I saw him grow up because I went up there a lot of times in Tucson, Arizona, and I saw him grow up, and the way he talks, the way he knows about, the general knowledge and how the world works. Yeah, it's really amazing because I came back, I told my wife about it. I said, like, this guy, he's so mature as compared to another guy from Singapore at the same age level. I think this guy is way mature than any Singaporean kid that I know at that age. And yeah, I think the education system kind of worked in some sense, but then again it failed in many sense too. But I guess in every country there's good and bad. I can't possibly say that Singapore has everything going for us, because yeah, we have the best, well, not one of the better education system, but then again the stress that we put upon our children is really, yeah, it's really something else. It's a bit cruel at times, especially parents who do not understand that kids have feelings too. That kids needs to be loved and to be dealt a fair hand. And we have many cases of kids committing suicide, killing themselves because they cannot meet the grade that they're supposed to meet in their exams, and which is pretty sad because and I shudder to think about the parents that lost these kids, because the amount of guilt that they have to carry for the rest of their lives is it's crazy. And I never treated my kids that way. I always told my kids, my two girls, my two girls, I have three kids, right? My son came later on, but my two girls, I never put pressure upon them. I even told my wife not to put pressure upon them and let them enjoy their childhood. But they're intelligent kids. They do really well in the studies. I mean, so they're good. They're great. They grow up to be successful adults. My eldest is now a vice principal in a preschool school. So she's like hitting 30, right? And she's a vice principal. So I'm really proud of her. And they're both very talented. My second daughter has a great job, and very independent. She's so confident of herself. And they're both very musically inclined. My son is autistic, right? But we never put pressure upon him because being autistic, we gave him a fair amount of a leeway because of his condition. But we never let him felt anything like that he's supposed to be pitied upon, that that he's not normal. We always treated him the same way. We never let him know that he's really special, even though we know that we are treating him special. I punish him the same way as I punish my kids. maybe not so harsh, but I will still put my foot down if I need to, even though he's autistic. And now he's like 21 years old, and I just found out just about a week ago that he was finally granted full-time employment in Google in Singapore. So he's working in the F&B department, and he was there for about 3 years, 2.5 years as an apprentice from the school that he was in. So apparently the guys in Google kind of like his work ethics and decided to employ him. So praise God. So yeah, I want to thank God, because God took a hand at directing my children's life, and see fit for them to be more or less successful in what they do. My second daughter Sarah came to me and asked me about whether she should do stuff that her heart wants to do, or to do stuff that is needed for survival, like in terms of monetary gain. And that's a tough question, because coming from me, I've been doing the things that I love all my life. I never did music because music can earn me a whole lot of money. It doesn't, still doesn't. Enough to scrap by, enough to raise a family of these lovely children, but that's about it. I can't afford a condo. I'm still living in the same old flat that I've been living since the first day I bought this place. I don't even have a car now. I sold my car, so there's a lot of things I have to do without. But there are so many things that I gain because I have less stress, and I get to indulge in my favorite pastime, which is playing guitar. So I have everything to be thankful for. And I was telling her, like, if you think that you want to do something that pleases your heart and your soul, then you might want to do it later on when you're more established into your career and you know where you're heading. But for now, yeah, just hang on and see how it goes. So that's me being a father. And which incidentally is coming up, Father's Day on Sunday. MCD57, have a great day. Cool. Take care. Bless the car. Thank you, Jonathan. I'm going to sleep now. Okay, good night. Crocky Cat. The thing is that many ex-colonies of Britain had very good education systems. But as you said, the parents don't know better. They pressurize the kids in the wrong way. Yeah. But John, that's a typical and desperate Asian life. There are too many people in East Asia, so that everyone has to do to achieve a normal level life in other parts of the world. Crocky Cat, the way you show your pride, your kids, and write it flows so naturally, just like your solos. Good on you and your family, Jonathan. Thank you, Corky. Attitude awesome about your son. That's great, and that he had the motivation and work ethics to get that job. It's definitely not easy, especially in this case. You should be proud, and yes, praise God. Yes, I'm so proud of him, and he's a sweet kid. Yeah. The things that God gave us, sometimes we just take it for granted. Jonathan, your bass booster? I don't use boosters. Yeah, I don't really use boosters. So, but I own a couple of boosters. I have one coming from this independent pedal maker from Hong Kong. So, yeah, he's sending one over. So I'm gonna try that out and see how it goes. Yeah. Alright, guys, I need to go. It's been great chatting with you guys, hanging out with you guys. So I'm gonna do the review for the Eart tomorrow. So just check it out. Tonefish, John, have you tried a Schecter Corsair? No, I haven't yet. I would love to. Yeah. I'll wait till they bring it in. Andrew Clayton, hey Jonathan, where are you doing your videos? My girlfriend said it looked like you're sitting in the back of a van. All the best from Munich, and as you know, I love your attitude. Does it look like a van? This is a pretty big van. If it's a van, no, it's not. It's in a little room in my house because we have this spare room, and it's supposed to be kind of like a sort of a workroom, which I converted to a workroom. Yeah, so it's not a van. Oh, gratitude. Yeah. In time to come. Okay, guys, I gotta go. So take care. I'm gonna get some Z's. I'm gonna sleep. I'm kind of naked. So yeah, I couldn't end the stream without praying. So I'm gonna pray for you guys. So I thank you, Jesus, for tonight. I thank you for my brothers and my sisters who have attended this prayer meeting that attended this live stream. I want to bless them, Lord, with all goodness that comes from you, protection that comes from you, Lord, and healing for those who are not well that comes from you. I also pray that, Lord, that you watch over their families and watch their coming in and going out. May you give them, Lord, joy and the ability to love others the same way that you love them, Lord. I thank you, Lord. May you bless them. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Gorky Cat. It's Jeanette, not Janice. That's Janice Joplin. Yeah, if she gets one of the Epiphones, no. She doesn't handle Epiphones. Epiphones are handled by another company, which gives me next to zero chance of reviewing it. Yeah, but if I do get my hands on one, I will do it. Yeah, no problem. So guys, take care of yourself. I'll see you when I see you. Bye.